Live from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
We have recovered a number of shell casings at the scene. We don't know the reason for the shooting.
A busy day for Cherry Valley Police as they continue to investigate a shooting outside the mall.
My life has changed dramatically, a whole 360.
A local resident shares how her life has drastically changed, including adding an unexpected addition to her family. And a medical professional now on the other side of treatment, why she's turning a parking lot into an inspiration for those fighting cancer. Good evening, I'm Alexis Carpello. Thanks for joining us tonight. Police say someone opened fire outside of the Cherryvale Mall this afternoon. It happened around 12:50 outside of the Macy's. Cherry Valley Police say at this point there are no victims. They have located multiple gun shell casings in the area. After further investigation, they're looking to identify these 3 individuals. Police say they could have been involved or witnessed the shooting. They say this car could also be tied to the shooting. Out of an abundance of caution, police locked down the mall at the time of the shooting.
As you can imagine, the mall was pretty crowded with the weather today. There were a lot of people in the mall, around the mall, and running from the mall, so we're still trying to sort all that out.
The mall is now back open. We'll continue posting updated details in this article on our website, mystateline.com. 13 years ago, a gunman opened fire at Northern Illinois University. Back in 2008, 5 people died, more than a dozen hurt on the Valentine's Day shooting. Today, the school observed a moment of reflection to remember the lives lost. We'll have more on that remembrance tonight. Janesville police arrest a man for driving while intoxicated. Mickey Plouffe from Janesville was stopped near Jackson and Riverside Drive around 11:30 Saturday night. Police identified signs of impairment leading to the arrest. This is the 5th offense. Illinois continues to break records with vaccine administered daily. The 7-day rolling average is now over 62,000 shots. This comes as more than 1,600 people test positive for the virus. 35 more residents have died, including 3 in the state line. The state's weekly test positivity rate sits under 4%. Region 1's rate is down to 3.5%. 6 counties took a dip in their rates. Boone dropped to just under 6%. Stevenson under 5%. Winnebago went up slightly to sit just under 4%. The lowest in the entire region continues to be Lee County, under 1%. After a year of hardships, this local woman shares her journey of adoption. She tells Michelle Rave now being a single mother of 2 children has inspired her to never give up her dreams.
My life has changed dramatically, a whole 360.
In the span of a year, single mother Larissa Malesio has made some major changes in her life.
Last year was very difficult for me because I lost some people in the family and the whole pandemic. It was a new transition for all of us.
Some heartbreaking changes brought new beginnings for her family, especially when she received a phone call from DCFS regarding her daughter's best friend.
I knew the moment that I got the call that it was for me. When they told me that I would have the opportunity to adopt her, we were jumping up and down. Everything went like extremely great and smoothly. I'm just so happy and grateful that I had the opportunity to be able to adopt and make a difference in someone else's life.
Malesio knew she now had 2 daughters to support, one we won't show to protect her privacy.
Is that the good guy or bad guy? He's a good guy.
During these difficult times, Malesio says her daughters inspired her to go after a big dream she always had, becoming a real estate agent.
My biological daughter, she knew me working all the time. And when I brought it to her and I said, you know, Mom can work from home, especially with the pandemic, you know, and she was very inspired by that because now I can, you know, be with her more with school.
Malesio says throughout all of this, she gained a new daughter and a new career for her new beginning.
Don't give up, because at the end of the day, it's worth that, you know, strive to do it. Everything worth keeping is not easy to get, so it was definitely worth every last trial and tribulation that I went through.
Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
A local museum opens up their doors for those on the front lines. Healthcare workers were able to learn more about the history of Rockford for free today at the Midway Village Museum. The museum gave tours and had crafts for their kids that tagged along too. Those there say it gave them an inside look of what Rockford used to be like.
I'm from Rockford and my grandparents are from Rockford, so it was really neat to just hear the history of Rockford and just learn a little bit more about my grandparents and kind of how they grew up here in Rockford as well.
Visitors are encouraged to make a reservation online or call the museum. Coming up tonight on Eyewitness News, this medical professional has helped patients for years. Now she's in the fight for her life. She tells Whitney Martin the reason she's turned a cancer center parking lot into a dance floor.
When I got the phone call because of COVID, they call patients. I was in my backyard with my dog, and honestly, it probably was the best way to find out, because I could have for me personally, I could have my human emotions and breakdown.
Hear the rest of her story and how she's inspiring other patients to keep on fighting. 2 years, 2 impeachments, 2 acquittals. Today, the House managers look back at their case as others look at what is next.
Temperatures for us this afternoon, a whopping 33 degrees below average. Quite the chills out there. Find out when we can get out of the deep freeze. Coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Alexis, Carpello, David Greenberg, and Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
There's been divided reaction after former President Trump was acquitted for the second time. Alex shares how House managers are now looking back at the case and others are looking at what's next.
Former President Donald Trump acquitted of the single article of impeachment, incitement of insurrection.
He is hereby acquitted of the charge.
House Manager Stacey Plaskett on CNN defending the decision not to call witnesses.
Listen, we didn't need more witnesses. We needed more senators with spines.
7 Republicans broke ranks, joining every Democrat in voting guilty. Some of those Republicans now facing backlash. Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy has been censored by his state's GOP.
I'm attempting to hold President Trump accountable, and that is the trust I have from the people that elected me. And I am very confident that as time passes, people will move to that position.
Lead impeachment manager Jamie Raskin telling NBC this was the most bipartisan impeachment conviction vote in American history.
He's obviously a major political problem for the Republican Party, and as long as he's out there attempting to wage war on American constitutional democracy, he's a problem for all of us.
But the vote was still short of the 2/3 necessary to convict. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who voted to acquit, delivered this blistering rebuke, placing the blame squarely on Trump.
There's no question, none, that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. No question about it.
Some lawmakers now say they would support the creation of a 9/11-style independent commission to investigate the attack on the Capitol.
There must be a full commission, an impartial commission, not guided by politics, but filled with people who would stand up to the courage of their conviction.
GOP Senator Lindsey Graham telling Fox News he spoke with the former president last night.
He's ready to move on and rebuild the Republican Party. He's excited about 2022. He's mad at some folks, but I understand that.
He said Trump has no plans to leave the party. Alex, ABC News, Washington.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
It has been a very cold afternoon, and while we had a little bit of sunshine out there early on, we did not see much of that last through this afternoon. A live look with our Mercial SkyTrack camera out in Freeport at the Park Hills Golf Course. You see the flag whipping around in that north wind. It has been cold, and our wind chills have been in the single digits to double digits below zero all afternoon. Our skies, they will stay cloudy as we go throughout this evening, and from that, you might even notice a couple of flurries degrees, or even a light snow shower or two that'll take us through this evening and into the afternoon tomorrow. But it was one for the record books, a cold Valentine's Day, cold February 14th. While we did not break our record low temperature, that was actually set last year. We got down to 10 below. Our low this morning, 6 below. We did break our record cold high temperature, so the coldest high temperature it's ever been on February 14th. We only made it to 1. Previously, that was 10, set all the way back in 1943. And that cold extends not only into the night tonight, but during the day tomorrow. Wind chill warning, wind chill advisory in place through noon tomorrow, as our wind chills during the overnight tonight and into tomorrow could get down as low as 30 degrees below zero. Feels like 18 below here in Rockford, 21 degrees below zero in Galena, and 14 below right now in Freeport. Let's look at some of those numbers as we go through daybreak tomorrow. Wind chills, well, I think these are a little too cold, not out of the realm of possibility. Having those numbers really range anywhere from 25 to even 30 degrees below zero. That means frostbite can happen on exposed skin within a matter of 10 to 15 minutes. So tomorrow morning, you got to make sure that you take those necessary precautions, because we are still going to have that breeze tonight and into tomorrow, that north wind gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour, not only through the night tonight, but then during the day tomorrow. And you notice through noon, really not much of an improvement. Wind chills still down as low as 20 degrees below zero. We'll knock the edge off just a little bit tomorrow night, and that's because we'll deal with the cloud cover and the wind will lighten up too. Look at how far down south, though, that cold extends. 3 degrees right now in Amarillo, Texas. Lots of snow coming down too across central and northern Texas. Winter storm warnings for the entire state of Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and even extending into central Illinois. That cold will help develop an area of low pressure down in the Gulf later tonight and tomorrow, and that'll move out to the East Coast by Tuesday morning. What that's going to do for us is bring us some lighter snow. While we don't have any winter weather headlines, you don't have to go that far south or east before you see some of that potential for more accumulating snowfall. Now, we've got a couple of flurries out there, and we'll keep that here as we go through this evening. Wouldn't even be surprised if we see a light snow shower or two that'll take us into tomorrow morning. But once we get into the afternoon, a couple of those flurries will still linger, but by tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, as that low pressure system works closer to us, we've got a chance for some lighter snow that'll take us into Monday night and then into early Tuesday. Now, the bulk of the accumulation with that is going to be to our east and to the south of us, but about an inch or two possible for Rockford, extending out to Freeport. You get down to Rochelle and DeKalb, and you could see about 1 to 3 inches of snow with that. Again, most of that coming tomorrow late in the day and then through early Tuesday. We're only up to 4 for tomorrow afternoon, 0 tomorrow night, 16 on Tuesday. A couple of flurries possible Wednesday, then some light snow on Thursday, but we'll see those temperatures, Alexis, climb back into the 20s, could get into the upper 20s by next weekend.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with David Greenberg.
It's race day, one of the most iconic races of the year, the Daytona 500. Unfortunately, NASCAR fans going to have to wait a little bit longer for that action. The race is over on our sister station, Fox 39. It started earlier this afternoon. On lap 14, there was a big crash taking out 16 cars. While they were trying to clear the wreck, the storms rolled into Daytona, putting the race in a weather delay. They've been in a delay for a few hours now. The reason these delays can take some time is because it typically takes 90 minutes to dry the track, and that's with the sun. Reports out of Florida say there are some blue skies in the distance, but as of now, there's no timetable of when the race may return. Hopefully, if the race returns to action soon and wraps up tonight, I'll have highlights from that big wreck and the finish. Just before the big race, there was a fantastic Big Ten hoops game from Madison this morning between Michigan and Wisconsin. The Badgers were absolutely money from long range in the first half. Just watch this one here. This man, Aleem Ford, he started 3 from 3 from downtown. But Michigan had their own hot hand. His name, Isaiah Livers. He drains that from the wing. At the half, Wisconsin was up 39-27. This 3 from Micah Potter helped them get to that point. But in the second half, the Wolverines came storming back. They cut the deficit to 6. Make that 3 on the triple from Franz Wagner. Michigan gets it to a 1-point game. 3 to go. 3 won't go. Rebounded by Dickinson, out to Livers. He knocks it down. Michigan's up by 2. This was the dagger here, though. Drive by Livers. Won't go off the glass. Rebound and in. That does it from there. The Wolverines overcome a double-digit halftime deficit and pull off the 67-59 road win. Coming up later tonight in the NBA, the Raptors and Bucks are both on the road. Raptors are out in Minneapolis taking on the Timberwolves, and the Bucks are down south in Oklahoma City taking on the Thunder. Those games at 6 and 7 o'clock. Last night, the Chicago Blackhawks pulled off the 3-2 win over Columbus in overtime. By all accounts, the Hawks have pretty much shattered expectations when it comes to this season. They're currently 7-5-4 and 5th in the Central. One player that's come in and arguably made the biggest impact is goaltender Kevin Lankinen. The former Ice Hog stopped 29 of 31 shots he faced last night. Afterwards, he talked his mentality of still trying to earn that starting role.
Whenever I get the chance to start, I'm going to earn my net. I'm going to work hard, and every time I get to start, and just do my best and go from there.
He's been so good for us, so just didn't love the idea of having him sit on that performance for a few days. And so that's a big win for us, and I thought he was really good.
That's it for sports. We'll be right back.
First Warning Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We've got a couple of light snow showers, mostly to the south and east, but a few flurries, a light snow shower or two possible, not only as we go through this evening, but also into tomorrow morning. The bigger story, though, for us right now is going to be the cold. Wind chill warning and advisories in place, as wind chills tomorrow morning could get down to 30 degrees below zero. So just take those precautions tomorrow morning. Now, we will see some of that snow pick up tomorrow night into Tuesday. Could be 1 to 3 inches coming for some.
Thanks for making us your home team tonight. We'll see you at 10.